And that is what happened. That just cut out on its own. Right, hello everybody, welcome back. Happy autumn to you all. Another day, another video, another mower. So what I've done is cracked open the toy box again, and I've spent the money so you don't have to. And this is my Stihl RMA 765V, which is the only Stihl cordless battery mower in their professional range. Is it any good? Do I like it? Would I buy it again? These are all questions that we will cover. So let's kick off and just have a brief look at it. So what is it? It's a wheeled mower, self-propelled, and if you look up here, we've got 5 speeds. 0 obviously doesn't do anything. We've got an eco mode, which obviously we never want to use because it just slows everything down, and an on-off switch. Got one of the it's one of the mono handles as well on this, so you can adjust your height just by clicking that. It collects. I've got the mulching plug, and each individual wheel is height adjustable. So these ones are a bit more complicated because you can adjust this so that they spin freely like a 0-turn mower, or you have them fixed like a normal mower, and I prefer them fixed personally. And then you have to do pull this handle, and then there's 7 different points of adjustment that you can use down here like that. I typically haven't used it that low actually, but here we go anyway. So you have to adjust each wheel individually, and then the battery, which is one of the newer shaped backpack batteries, he lives under here. So it's an AR3000L, and we've got 1 bar off full. So there we go. What is useful with these mowers is that if you click the handle up, the handle folds, so if you want to store it in your van, that takes up a lot less room. And then if you take the back off, what you'll notice is that there's a little foot on the bottom of that, and that means that you can tip her up, and then you can access the deck underneath. So as you can see, it's a twin blade machine, and they are interference blades, so if something goes wrong they're going to start hitting each other, which I have had because the belt slipped on it, and then they started hitting into each other, which wasn't very good. So you can see it's got a fairly large chute at the back there to handle some reasonably large amounts of grass, and then it's got this kind of fluted setup at the top here to help channel everything in. Oh, it's also very wide as well, so 76 centimeters, so it's a similar sort of size to a Toro Time Master or a Turf Master, something like that. It's not super maneuverable, so it's much better on open areas. So let's drop her down again. There we go. Lift the handle up, and then we'll show you how to operate her. So when you turn her on, you hold down the button, you then choose eco mode or not, you choose your speed, and then I think that one there, so the front handle is the self-propelled, and then to activate the blades you have to hold the power button and then lift up the back one. So it's quite a lot quieter than a petrol mower. And then if you put the eco mode on, there you go. You can see it drops down again. So I know I'm not sounding particularly thrilled about this. Fortunately, I got it as an ex-display unit for very cheap actually. How much was it? It wasn't, I don't know, 800, 900 pounds, I want to say, something like that, which is about at least half of what it should cost full price. And then I got the battery ex-display as well from a different dealer, and then I got several £100 off the new price on that. So I think all in with the battery and the mower and the mulch plug, you're well north of £3,000 for this setup. Could be up to 3.5 now, something like that. I certainly wouldn't spend £3,500 on it. My big Etizia LKX2 with the Kawasaki engine, I think I only paid about 2.2 for that, including VAT, and that machine will go through anything. This machine, however, does not. So my main gripe with this machine is that the blades will stop if there is too much build up underneath, because it's got all limit switches and sensors, a little bit like the little mower, the little Stihl mower I've got, the RMA 448TC, but that's only a 400 or 500, 600 pound mower. This is not, and this should, as a commercial mower, go through anything. Now that said, if you use it to collect, it works pretty well. It doesn't quite bulk up. There's no fan assistance inside it, so you're not going to bulk out the bag and fill it quite as well as, say, one of my Honda Pro mowers. But if you're mulching and you're mulching wet grass, then you have to go very slowly, or it keeps cutting out and it becomes a bit useless, really. So generally, if you rear discharge, you're going to be okay. If you collect, you're going to be okay. I mean, I've used it in the wet. You can see there's all wet grass in there. So it works okay, but I find you're having to go quite slowly and work with it rather than with my big Kawasaki powered Artesia. You just blast on through and you haven't even got to think about it. So I'll tell you what I'll do. We will put the mulch plug in, and then we'll go and cut this. This is damp grass, but it has dried out overnight a bit. It's not super long. We're talking about 5 centimeters, 5, 6, something like that. So we're not. You can bury my hand in it, but it's nothing to write home about in terms of difficulty. Perhaps we'll go and have a look at some of this longer grass here as well, see how it copes with that. But it is damp, as you can see. Yeah. So let's put the mulch plug in. So let's get a decent height of cut. Typically, I've actually always left the front a similar sort of height. What am I on there? Is it 2 or 3? Level 3 it is on there. We're level 3 on that side. And what are we here? 4. On this side, what are we looking at? We're on 5 here. Let's take it down to 3. Okay, so you can see that's about my hand's height, and that's fairly even across. So 3 at the front, and then we'll go 3 at the back, and we've got the mulch plug in. So let's give this a go. We'll start off on speed 1. We'll start it up. We'll turn off eco mode. Right. So there you are. You can see that's actually cutting all right. No real problems with that. And then as soon as you let go, everything shuts down. So I typically cut on 3 or 4 speed. 5, funny enough, there's something a little bit odd with it, in that it tends to not shut off immediately when you take your hand off the go. There's a problem with it, but it's a really weird system because there's no cables or pulleys or anything. They've just got these magnets, and there's obviously something sensing in here, so that when that magnet touches that is then what makes it go. So you get absolutely no feedback until it finally comes close to wherever the magnet is meant to be. So weird, but there you go. So let's try again. Right, there we go. So we've done a line there, and you can see that is, I mean, we're not talking super long grass anyway, and it's still damp, and you can see it's not leaving any debris behind. I mean, that's actually mulched quite nicely. Let's have a look under the deck, and we'll see how we're looking over here. So yeah, that's actually not even made that much build up under there, has it? So we're doing all right. Let's carry on, and I'll do all of this bit, and then we'll come back and have a look. Right, there we go. So I've cut that bit, and this is probably in total, this little bit here from those trees down to the end there, I don't know, 200-300 meters, something like that. And you can see what we've done. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 passes. So really quite quick to do quite a lot of work there. And you can see how wet it is by all the junk on the wheels here. So let's have a look at the deck, and we'll see how the deck's faring. Ugh. Go on, up you go. There we go. So look, we're starting to get a little bit cloggy. Yeah. So it's not super clean. I mean, I know the adhesives aren't 100% perfect, but I think they might have been a bit cleaner than this. So there you go. So you can see that this bit of grass is that much longer. So we know that this is long and wet. This is probably a couple of months worth of growth. We are at the end of the season now, so it's not, it's not like spring growth or anything. But you put my hand in there. That is long, wet grass. Okay, there's no denying that. Okay, so let's have a little razz in there, and we'll see how we get on. I think it's probably prudent for us to whack this up to 6 maybe at the back. Just allow a little bit of airflow. There's that 6. There we go. And then we'll take the speed down to 2. There we go. Okay, let's start her up. Right, long grass test, here we go. And that is what happens. That just cut out on its own. So you can see it started to do that, but all those limit sensors have all now cut in. So we're not even trying to cut that much off. I mean, that is still level 6 at the back, and you can see we're not, that's a normal cut. That was at level 3. This is at level 6, and it just can't hack it. So, we've taken half of that off, haven't we? Let's have a look underneath at the deck. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, you can see that that's not a happy chappy. And if you were called out, if this was your only piece of machinery on the van, and you had commercial jobs, and someone said, yeah, this is all a bit long, can you come and cut it? I just think you'd struggle with this. Well, you would struggle with it, because I can't even do 10 meters with it here. So let's take the mulch plug out, and we'll have a go with that. There we go. Right, so now we're on height 6, and we'll just do some rear discharge on speed 2. Right, so a bit of a result on that. He's actually now cutting through that. Somehow I haven't locked these off so that they don't spin anymore. We've gone into 0 turn mode. Come on, you're meant to go around that. And you were meant to lock there as well. So let's up the speed now. So we'll try it on level 3. Right, okay, so there we go, we've done there and back. You can hear it's having fun there, isn't it? So you can see that we've brought that right down now, and that is on 7 at the front, 7 at the back. Right, so I've gone and grabbed the box for the back, because everyone always likes to see what things collect like in long wet grass, so let's get rid of all of that. We'll put him on. What I will say is the bag is quite good, because you can, not all bags, you can actually lift up this edge on and put rubbish and stuff in the top there, so that's quite good. It does have a big opening and it doesn't really bung up. So let's turn her down to 1, start her up. Alright, long wet grass test. So Is it collecting? Yes, it's collecting, but what you may notice is that it's left a little bit of debris in the middle of the run. So, yeah, not ideal, but it is doing it. Let's have a look in the back. How is the grass collected? Let's have a look. So, yes, it's throwing it into the back, actually. I mean, it's not super wet, it's damp, I would say, that is. So, yeah, we're doing an alright job, but it never really packs it any tighter than that. So there we go, anyway. There's my look then at the Stihl RMA 765V. What do I think it's best for? It's best for regular mulch mowing of very short grass. In the summer particularly, it works quite well. It's quite speedy for getting around. Also collecting in the dry, it's very good at that. And you can see there that on the rear discharge mowing, you can certainly cut down the long grass, but it's not its forte. I definitely would pick the Artesia to do that instead. So there we go. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Do you think this is a good machine? Have you had your eye on one? Have you had any better experiences than me with it? I mean, I've got limited space in the van. I typically take 3 or 4 mowers out with me, and I used to carry this one every day, and I've stopped doing it now. I just use my Artesia for most things. So that's what it is. And don't forget, head over to the website lawnmowingbusiness.co.uk. On there you'll find my website, and it's got loads of information and articles on how to start your own successful one-man lawn mowing business, as I've done. So there you go, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.